Hi everyone, and welcome again to TK's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making one of our favorites at our house, Dad's cookies. Every once in a while, An comes to me and says,
Dad, can we make cookies?
"What kind? What kind do you want?"
Dad, cookies.
Dad's cookies. Okay, and today we're going to show you how to make Dad's cookies. For our ingredients today, we're going to be using 2 cups of rolled oats, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of coconut, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 1 cup of butter at room temperature. We have half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Also, for one batch, we like to include some chocolate chips. We'll put a list of all of these ingredients in the description below. It's great to get the kids involved and have them learn how to bake. They can start by cracking open the eggs. We have them open them into a separate dish so that we can find any eggshells that might make their way. All right, so now in one bowl, we're going to mix together the eggs, the butter, and the vanilla. Joshua, do you want to pour the eggs in? Okay, and also the sugar goes in this bowl. You want to pour that in?
I want to pour this.
Not that one.
And I want to pour this.
No, that goes in a different bowl.
What bowl?
1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, Joshua, now it's your turn with the dry ingredients, okay? Let's pour in the flour first. But you know what we should do?
What?
We should try and sift it. Can we try sifting it? They say it helps if you sift the powder.
Then it's dry.
Yeah, give it a good turn. Whoops! What kind of a thing is this? I think maybe you were turning the wrong way. Huh? Try now. Good job. A little bit more. Now we'll pour in the salt, the baking soda, and the baking powder, and sift that in too. Yeah, give it a good twist. Give it a good turn. Okay, very good. How's it going? Okay, now we can add the rolled oats. And for these, you can use the quick oats. Keep stirring. Stir it up good, Joshua. Whoa! Okay, keep going. Stir it up good. Now, you want to add the coconut in too? Pour it in. All right. Okay, should we put them together? And make the dough, the cookie dough? Throw it in. Pour it in, Joshua. Put the two together. Yay!
I want to eat this.
You can try one. No, not like that. Just pick one up with your fingers.
Please.
At this point, if your hands have been washed and they're very clean, you can go ahead and just start working with your hands. Did you wash your hands? I hope you washed your hands. Daddy washed his hands.
I wash his hands.
Okay.
Okay. But it's yucky.
Mix it really good, like this. Just push it down. That's kneading. We need to knead the dough because we need the dough. Just punch it in. Punch, punch, punch. Okay, we'll bring one bowl back and we're going to cut this into 2 balls. Okay, so now we have 2 separate balls of dough, and one we're going to add the chocolate chips. Do you want to add those in? And then you can knead those in. So the nice thing about Dad's cookies is that you can try different ingredients to add to the flavor. We've put chocolate chips into one of them, and you could put slivered almonds in half of the batch. Or in our case, my wife likes to make almond milk, and so after she strains the almond milk, there's this left over. Well, we can just add this right into our cookie dough. All right, we're going to take and grease up our cookie sheet a little bit. You can use butter or oil for this. Something like about that. And you can just drop the ball on the cookie sheet. You want to do that, Joshua? Get a ball about this big? That might be just a little big. It really depends on how big you want your cookies. You can make some small ones, some big ones. Some big ones for Dad, right? And I think we can make 3 rows, so put one right in the center. And usually about 4. Okay, and now we're going to pat these down with our forks. And what I like to do is just put a little bit of milk on a plate, and that helps to smooth everything out. Want to press some down, Joshua? Yeah, I like to do a crosshair hatch with the fork. Now the idea is to get them thin enough that they're going to bake all the way through. So this looks a little thick yet. Let's push that one down just a little bit more.
That's just was.
Squish it in. Do a little cross hatch. Yeah, that looks good. And maybe a bit there, and then that last one, and we can pop them in the oven.
Hi, dog.
Well, that looks pretty good, guys. We are going to now pop them in the oven for 10 minutes. At least we're going to put them in for 10 minutes, and then we'll check and see how brown they are. So 375 for 10 minutes. Okay, should we take a look? Actually, we already checked at 10 minutes. They weren't quite done, so we left them in a little longer. And every oven's going to be a little bit different, so what we're looking for is brown on top, even a little bit browner on the bottom. And I think that's looking pretty good now. What do you think, Anan? Take a look.
It looks yummy.
Yeah. All right, and so we're going to take them off the cookie sheet and just place them lightly on top of each other so that they can have a little air to dry in between each one. And we'll let them sit and cool and harden up a little bit for maybe 10 minutes before we give them a try. And something I don't know if I mentioned or not, looking online or in cooking books, you will find that for Dad's cookies, or for any cookies for that matter, the amount of sugar that they call for is just, at least in our family, we find way too much. Sometimes we'll even cut the amount of sugar that's called for in half and still find that the cookies are so sweet that we can barely eat them. So we cut them down at least by 2/3, and then we find the cookies actually tasting nice and nutritious. For the amount of sugar that we used in this demonstration, we've already cut that down 2/3. So 1 cup of sugar for this recipe is just the way we like it. All right, we've let them cool, and I think they're ready to eat. Do you want to give them a try, Joshua? Which one do you want? We hope you've enjoyed this episode of TK's Kitchen, and hope that you can try this out with your children soon.
Big.
You like them?